Did you know that it's not always a bad thing to see things differently than your spouse in front of your kids? It all depends on how you approach and manage conflict. Hey there, I'm Dr. Dave, and today's 2-minute tip is all about how prioritizing and nourishing your marriage can help your children. Now, it can be easy, especially when children are young, to let your relationship with your spouse take the back burner a little bit, right? Things just get so busy. You're both usually exhausted and short on time and patience. And don't the kids need your attention more than your partner does anyway? Well, it turns out that research shows that keeping your marriage strong is actually one of the best things you can do for your kiddos. Among other things, the quality of your marriage can influence your child's future well-being as much as either you or your spouse's relationship with that child. And an increase in love between parents is associated with a decrease in children's challenging behavior. Pretty crazy cool, right? So here's a few things to think about that can help both your marriage and your children. First, your interactions with and feelings for your spouse can spill over into your interactions with your children. For example, if you're upset with your spouse, you might take it out on a child by snapping at them or being less willing to listen. On the other hand, if things are going well in your marriage, it helps your well-being and emotional regulation, which then makes it easier to be warm, patient, and present with your child. So your efforts to strengthen and invite positivity into your marriage don't just benefit you and your spouse. They make it easier to really show up for your kiddos as the best parent you can be. The second thing to keep in mind is that the type of conflict you have in your marriage matters. Every couple disagrees sometimes, but how you deal with tough discussions really affects your kids. Behaviors such as criticism, physical or verbal aggression, withdrawal, and stonewalling are destructive, and having unclear or insincere conflict resolutions can hurt not just you, but your family. But being willing to sincerely compromise, focus on managing the differences, offer support, and honestly apologize to your spouse can help you have constructive conflict that demonstrates positive lessons for your children. And clear, constructive conflict management contributes to some awesome outcomes for kids. For one thing, it can help them see that differences are a normal part of relationships, so there's not something wrong with them if they don't agree with everyone all the time, and that it doesn't have to be toxic. It can also help them have less aggression and more emotional stability and security, and that's huge. Third, your marriage sets an example for children's future relationships. I think every parent wishes for their children to have healthy, happy relationships of their own someday, right? They deserve to feel safe and appreciated, to have positive connections, and to work toward common goals with people who respect them. As you try to meet these needs and practice these principles in your own marriage, even if you're not perfect at it and things get messy sometimes, you're showing your children how to do the same for future friendships and romantic relationships. This can look like showing your spouse affection and appreciation, going on regular dates, and keeping your love maps up to date. It can look like genuinely listening and apologizing when you've said something hurtful. You don't need to paint them or your marriage as perfect, but be mindful of how you talk to and about your spouse in front of your kids. Now, no marriage is perfect, and I promise you won't ruin your kids by slipping up sometimes with your spouse. This isn't about pressure or guilt trips. It is about a shift in focus and realizing that as we give our best to our marriages, we are actually helping give so many good things to our kids too. That's all for now. I'm Dr. Dave, sharing 2-minute tips to strengthen couple relationships. For more tips and resources, be sure to visit strongermarriage.org.